Hola, salutations and greetings, and other things that mean the exact same as those words. This is critical. I don't remember the episode number, not that it really matters at this point. I'm Mongo, joined as always by my co-host Liger Busa. I don't remember if we were going to talk about a video game this week.
Uh, I don't believe so. We should get back on that though, because I think people expect it. You know?
Yeah, it's my schedule's so goofy that like any sort of actual fucking like I'm gonna sit down to play a video game. It just doesn't really happen lately.
Yeah. I've just been playing like random things too. Like I played been playing a lot of Mafia 3 and tried the Tomb Raider remastered trilogy, which spent a couple of minutes with, and I was like, no, this is aged too much. I don't really like it.
I thought those looked cool, but my frame of reference for Tomb Raider is I played the first one for like 5 minutes when I was in kindergarten.
Yeah, I don't think I even played, any Tomb Raider until like the remake trilogy. But it's so weird because like the main menu is like it feels like something out of PS1. Like it's just weird. It's like still images and like just the way it's set up. It doesn't feel like it's modernized in any way. Um, and then it defaults to tank controls, and I was like, oh yeah, what the hell's going on? And then you can switch it to modern, which is fine. It does not have that option where if you press select, you can go between like modern, the remastered graphics and the original, which I always like. But
Yeah.
just the game as a whole, I was just like, this, the jumping and stuff. I was just like, I don't think I can spend too much time with this. I think I got it from like Prime Gaming like ages ago, and I just installed it to see what it was like.
Oh, did I tell you I got Stranglehold running like the GOG version on the Steam Deck, but the process of remapping the controls is
It's
so
annoying.
like
Yeah,
asinine. Yeah. I
yeah.
was disappointed.
It's funny because I have like I bought it was like what was it like $3 or whatever, but I've got my
I think
360
I
right
paid
next to
99
me.
cents. It was on sale.
Yeah, I got my 360 right next to me, so I'm just gonna play it on there. The next time I play it, because yeah, it's just too annoying on the PC.
Crazy to think TNA Impact was built on top of that game.
I saw Sal DeVito was at one of the Mortal Kombat 2 movie events.
I
It's
saw
like
the
hell
picture on
yeah,
Instagram of Boone Tobias, him, and I think Carrie Hoskins.
yeah, she was definitely there. Yeah,
And I saw like some AI page keeps posting like clips of her as Sonya fighting Nightwolf, and I blocked it. I hate that soccer game. I'm not entirely sure what in that trailer was AI, but like all of those animated clips looked a little suspect to me.
I saw oh yeah, that was that's a shame because that seemed like an interesting game.
Beat
But
the champions.
speaking of like Mortal Kombat and AI, there was this video I saw. It popped up twice. It popped up on Instagram and then Twitter, and it was like 1995 against 2026, and like it was so bad. Like it's one of those AI videos where like the old person or the original person or the young person or whatever the case is sitting down on a bench, and like the new version comes and sits next to them, and like it gets to like Johnny Cage, the original Lyndon Ashby version, and he's like shirtless and he's ripped, which he was never shirtless in the first movie to begin with. And then it goes to like Liu Kang, and instead of Robin Shu, it's Liu Kang from like the Mortal Kombat game. And I was like, oh, well, that's not right. And then Katana shows up, and it has the wrong name of the actress for the new version. And of course, you go in the comments, and everyone's like, "Oh, such a downgrade," which is just nostalgia talking. Because I saw that movie, and it was fantastic.
I I saw an early review of it, and then three of my friends that were like, "If you didn't like 2021, you're probably not gonna like this, but it is at least a little bit better than that." I didn't have the
Okay,
money this week. I had to pay a couple of bills, so I didn't get to go to the movie theater. I might just wait for it to drop on HBO. My expectations aren't super high. I did see the fucking Liu Kang Kung Lao fight because somebody posted that. I think it was on Reddit.
yeah, it was
Somebody
excellent.
posted like yeah, that looked cool. But yeah, I saw like an early review, and I saw IGN gave it like an 8. I was like, that's it.
That's what I gave it
But
as well.
if it's an improvement over 2021, that's a step in the right direction. Because
Yeah,
2021 is like one of the worst video game movies ever.
I'll give my little, I guess, mini review of it. So when I went to see it, like I fully had my expectations in check. It was funny because like the trailers that we saw before were Backrooms, Evil Dead, Coyote versus Acme, Resident Evil, and then Clayface. And I was like, one of these really sticks out as it does not belong. Um, but when the movie started in the first few scenes, I was like really distracted because like there was a lot of like poor green screen. Like it really stuck out to me, and I don't know if my eyes got used to it or if it was better later on in the movie, but it didn't. It wasn't as bad later on. But God, it's just a ton of fun. It's like um, I'm glad they didn't spend like 20 minutes with Johnny Cage like explaining to him what Mortal Kombat is and all this because like that was supposed to be Cole's role in the first movie, so we didn't need to go over that again. And like they transport him to Raiden Sky Temple, which they actually call it in the movie, which was cool. And he sees like Liu practicing with fire, and he's like, "That's cheating." And but like at no point does he question like this tournament for the fate of the world. He's just like, "It is. That's what it is," you know. It was just I it was funny, but I also liked it because it was just like, yeah, let's get right into it. And like from like the second scene on, they start talking about the tournament, and it's like pretty much all tournament. You know, there's some things that happen here and there, but like they're fully focused on the tournament. Um, Shao Kahn rules. You feel his accent come through a little bit, which was kind of funny, but like performance wise, you know, he's got like the shadow shoulder block thing. He's actually pretty fast when he fights, which is neat because he's got like all that gear on and like the big hammer that he holds and everything. You wouldn't expect it. Um, One thing he does, and I won't spoil it, but he uses his hammer like a broom to move something at one point, which was so disrespectful. I laughed and when I saw it, I think there's not one person that doesn't that you think like oh they're kind of doing a bad job or anything. I think everyone did pretty good. There's some characters that could have been used more effectively. Like I feel Sindel was wasted. Um, I love seeing Quan Chi in this, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's just because like he's become somewhat of a meme these past years, or because he was like, you know, he's supposed to be an Annihilation and was cut from that. But seeing him in live action was a hoot. Um, this doesn't really spoil anything, but there's a short scene where him, Shang Tsung, and Shao Kahn are all on screen together, and that was just like a wild thing to see. I was like, holy shit, look at them. Um, I'm just trying to think of what else I can say about it without spoiling too much. Uh, I feel like Liu Kang is put in a much more respectful place in this one. I mean, they straight up say that he's their best fighter. And while he may not be like the top main character, he is treated, you know, respectfully. Um, Trying to think what else. Um, oh yeah, regarding Sindel again. So as people have probably seen in the trailers, she fights Sonya. What's interesting is that the writer just talked about recently that Sonya was originally supposed to fight Tremor, which would have been uh, different. But he said he just couldn't find a way to get his powers and stuff to like work within that scene.
I also
What
don't
else?
think we need Tremor in a Mortal Kombat movie. Just
No, we
because
don't. But the
we-
idea of it is pretty funny. Um, Katana's great. There's already like hundreds of like stan accounts for her now. She's really good in the movie. I mean, again, you know, they're not given like the top tippy top material. You know, it's corny, it's campy. But like she does a great job, especially in the last part of the movie. Just excellent stuff. I thought Jade was really good as well, even though she's not given a lot to work with. And that actress, Tati Gabrielle, she's like the main target for like right wing grifters and incels because she's got a shaved head and she's mixed race and she's female. So all of a sudden they all started caring about Jade's hair, which I don't think I've cared about once while playing Mortal Kombat, but you know that was a big thing for them. But she does a good job in it. Um, seeing Noob Saibot just in his Mortal Kombat 11 gear was just wild, and I really liked the way they used his powers in his scene, or scenes, I should say. Uh, Baraka, interesting. He's not what you would think, I guess. Um, Again, without spoiling it, it's more comedic. It's not like he's just like this, mindless monster. There's a played for comedy a bit.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of that, but I'll wait till I see the movie to actually like render a judgment on
It
that. I
it it worked for me within the movie because it was just like so bizarre, I guess you could say. Aesthetics are awesome. Like I when I saw pictures of the scene, I thought like everyone else, every other Tarkatan had the face covered, so they wouldn't have to do too much work on everyone else. But there's other characters that you see that have their mouth showing, and they look great. Like they did a wonderful job, adapting him. Uh, Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's like a lot of fights. It doesn't really let up. There's some scenes between fights, but like for the most part, it's like a bullet train. It's just like we're moving forward. And also doesn't hold anyone's hand that doesn't know Mortal Kombat. Surprisingly, it's very like fan driven. If you didn't see, you don't even really not necessarily need to see the first movie. Like it'll say like this thing happened, and there'll be like a quick flashback, but like you don't really get the sense that you need to see it. And like I said, also like if you don't really know Mortal Kombat, surprisingly, it's just like, well, we're moving ahead, so you better catch up. Um, which is if you're a general audience member, it might be like, what the hell's going on here? But for Mortal Kombat fans, it's like, okay, cool, let's get on with it. Yeah, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to go into full spoilers, but yeah, I super enjoyed it overall. I was like, for what it was, like they couldn't have done a better job. And honestly, when I watch movies or like TV shows these days, I find like things just drag on a little bit. Like I enjoyed the last episode of Daredevil, but I was watching an episode previous to that, and the episodes are like 48 minutes, and I was like, geez, this feels a lot longer. Some people complain when they announce like the runtime of like a Marvel or a DC movie, like, oh my god, it should be 3 hours. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I want to go
people
home.
did that with 2021 as well.
Yeah,
I don't know if you remember that, but there were people like, it needs to be 3 hours so we can get the backstory. Like, fuck off.
Yeah, and they do that with video games as well. Like, there's people complaining that First Light is 20 hours. And I'm like, it's a James Bond story. Like, it's not open world. And really, what else are you going to add to it? I think that's perfectly fine. So the movie's very quick. And then, but when it was over, I was like, I just kind of want to sit here and watch it again, which I guess shows how much I enjoyed it. But yeah, highly recommended. I don't know how you'll react, because you didn't like the 2021 movie.
Well, like I said, the friends I have that saw it were like, if you didn't like that one, you might not like this one as much, but it's at least better than the other movie.
Oh yeah, definitely. It gets rid of all the bullshit. Like I said previously, like all the Arcana stuff is gone. And
that writer needs to be fucking tried for his crimes. Honest to God.
I don't know what he's doing now, but I remember after that movie, he was like signed up for a bunch of video game adaptations, and I don't think any of them have
he wanted to do Street Fighter, and I'm like, fuck you, motherfucker. You ruined one fighting game. Let's keep you away from the fucking other one.
I don't know how like Cole Young even made it to the finalist stages because it doesn't make any sense. Like his whole character was just. I felt bad.
He could have just been Johnny Cage. He literally could have just been Johnny Cage.
I felt bad for Louis Tan because he obviously saw like all of the negativity for his character, and he seems like a nice dude. So, that's sad. But what are you gonna do? But anyway, like I love the movie.
He also is not particularly good at all in that 2021 movie.
No,
he sucks.
Yeah, he's definitely not someone that you want leading your movie.
No, and like he's a descendant of Scorpion. Get fucked. Get fucked.
Yeah, that also is not even brought up in this movie.
I wonder why.
Like they really just said like fuck all that. That didn't work. They're just like, yeah, we fucked up. Let's throw that under the bridge. Let's get rid of that. No one needs to see that again.
Yeah, and it's smart. I mean, at least
Oh
it's
yeah.
loosely connected, so people can't bitch that it's a sequel that's like kind of its own thing and it doesn't acknowledge the previous movie. But that
Yeah,
previous movie sucked. I watched all three of the live action movies last year. I want to say around the time the Legacy Collection came out. And unironically, Annihilation's a way better fucking movie than that.
ooh.
I was gobsmacked because I remembered Annihilation being like one of the worst things I'd ever seen, and it probably still is. But it felt like that shit respected what those video games were a lot more than 2021 did. 2021 felt like somebody thought they had a better idea of how to do it, and they didn't like at
Annihilation's
all. And also,
still got
the
a great
fight scene sucked
soundtrack,
too.
so
It
that helps.
does.
Yeah.
And Khan's really funny, and the CGI animalities are really funny too. And also, that movie does the Arcana stuff as well.
Yes, with the whole tattoos. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Weird.
2021 is just a worse version of Armageddon.
Do you think like maybe
Or
he saw
Annihilation,
Armageddon,
rather.
Annihilation, and was like, "Oh yeah, this is part of the law"? Because no, dude.
He probably watched Annihilation and was like, fuck, I can do this. I can do
Yeah,
better than this.
that's another one of those things. Like, no, it's just like you just accept that these people have powers that makes them better than everyone else. And
Right. And like I said last week, there was this whole thing like, they should do a Mortal Kombat cinematic universe with origin movies for all of these. I don't. Mortal Kombat Special Forces with like a good Jax, which Makad Brooks was. He was one of the very few things I didn't have a problem with in the first movie. And a decent Sonya Blade, like, okay. I could see like a 90-minute runtime, like, okay. Shaolin Monks before
mm,
Kung Lao got killed off. I could see a 90-minute movie for that. I don't I don't need a fucking Kano origin movie, and I saw a lot of people really fucking trying to make that a thing in like 2021, and it's like, what fucking planet do you live on, and how do we send like a space nuke to it?
I know the actors really want to make a Shaolin Monks project, which I was totally down for. I thought like if anything, like coming out of that first movie, they could have had like an HBO Max series or something. Would have been pretty fun, like a limited series, obviously. But yeah, you don't need origins for everyone. That's a bit overblown. But yeah, definitely Shaolin Monks was something I would really like to see because again, their fight scene was the best one in two. So like, and they're actual martial artists, so putting them together and collaborating with all these different fight scenes they could do would be really cool.
Yeah, I I also really hated how they wrote Liu Kang and Kung Lao to be sarcastic assholes in 2021. Like, I get they were kind of being assholes to Kano, but like every piece of media of Mortal Kombat would suggest those guys aren't fucking MCU quipping characters; they're fucking monks.
The only thing I can think of that Liu Kang says, and this was in one of the trailers, is when in the Baraka scene he says Johnny will definitely die, and then other than that, that's like he's pretty straight laced throughout the movie.
I mean, that's still probably better than like him just being like an arrogant, smug prick to Kano.
Yeah. There's none of that in this movie. He's like I said, I felt like they did a better job of. He's not like the main character, but they made him feel important. Um, and if they do a third movie, it'll be interesting to see what happens there based on where he leaves off in the second movie.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
do tease one at the end. Um, Not like an overall story, but just like an idea of what's going to happen next. Uh, I know it's like projected to make something like 40 million this weekend, and I think the budget was 60. Um, and I'm sure it'll do well on like home video as well. So we'll see what happens.
I was going to mention the 4K is already available for pre-order if you're in the US on Walmart's website. The steelbook has cool artwork.
Yeah,
The character posters for Khan and Katana are the front and back,
I came
respectively.
I came home and like I was reading about like the pre-orders, and the next day on Amazon it went up, and I was like, yeah, I actually caught. And then I added the original movie and Annihilation, the collection that's coming out as well.
I might try to pre-order that Arrow collection this week because I saw the trailer they did for Mortal Kombat 95, and I pulled it up. And I know YouTube compression does what it does, but I pulled that up on my TV in my room because that's the 4K TV in the house, and I was like, "No, this looks fucking amazing! Like, I really need to see this in 4K."
Yeah, the special features sound interesting too. I think there's like a new commentary by Paul W.S. Anderson, and the actress that plays Sindel, and I'm curious as to see what she's got to say.
I followed. I think I followed her on Instagram. She's a little nuts.
Oh, cool. That'll make it better then.
Oh, not in a good way.
Oh, great.
Yeah, it is what it is. Speaking of nuts, but not in a good way, I watched UFC 328, and it's usually a pretty decent sign when the very first prelim with nobody in the building is like, "Oh yeah, no, they'll get fight of the night for this," because they went out and fought like me and my friend Doug do when we play UFC 5 online, but they did it for 3 rounds.
Yeah.
And it set a pretty good tone. The only fight I didn't watch is whatever the final prelim was because Darby versus Pac was going on, and I was like, I gotta see this. That match was nuts. Darby Allin's a fucking lunatic.
If Fight Forever came out, that would definitely be a minigame. A golf minigame would definitely be in there.
Yeah, honestly.
But that's like that would have been
you
like
get the Fairway to Hell Arena for the minigame, but not for like a match.
Yeah, like Stadium Stampede. Which and
that would have been
that would have been a great arena where you could just like hit people with golf clubs and stuff. It would have been so much better than putting like a random Japanese shrine and shit that they put in.
The spooky house.
Yeah.
I liked that beach arena though. That beach arena was
dope. It was cool. Yeah.
The best fight of the night was Joshua Van and Tatsuro Taira. There was a lot made this week about if Tatsuro Taira won, he'd be the first Japanese-born UFC champion, and I was sure rooting for him. My problem is during like the pre-show, they were like, "Oh, he passed the boxing test against I think it was Brandon Moreno." You'd think like if somebody had proven they could handle boxing, they'd be able to, like, I don't know, man, move their head. Like Joshua Van landed at will because Taira kept his head like just right down the center line. You don't even really need to time as much when you know where the head's going to be at fucking every possible angle. He got the shit beat out of him. The 4th round was crazy. It was like, damn, this might actually be 2 rounds apiece. And then Joshua Van finished him in the 5th. I haven't seen every flyweight title fight in the history of the UFC, but if there's like 3 of them better than that, I would be fucking shocked. That fight was incredible. And then we had, the neo-Nazi versus Kaduro's buddy, who allegedly, and when I say allegedly, I mean I fucking fully believe it happened, had his friends abduct a 17-year-old so he could force her into a marriage. And, when I got sent that article during the main card, I said to you before we started recording, I was like, can Anderson Silva just cash in Money in the Bank? Can we get some funny shit happening in this division instead of the 185-pound title revolving around just like the biggest pieces of shit imaginable? And my breakdown of the fight, because it was a very close split decision. Hamzat clearly wins the 1st round. Strickland clearly wins the 2nd. The 3rd, if you go either way, I'm not going to be like, you're wrong, because it was very close. Nobody decisively won that round. It was 10-9, whatever way you want to go. Hamzat clearly won the 4th round, and I thought he won the 5th round. He got 2 takedowns. Didn't really do anything with them. Strickland got back up, but he still controlled a significant amount of the fucking round. And they pulled up the judges' scorecards, and like 2 of them gave Strickland the 5th round, and I was just like, that's not even the round I could see. Like, where if you're like, oh yeah, Strickland won that, I would be like, oh, whatever. I thought Hamzat clearly won it. And then Strickland, who like shit-talked Muslim people, called Hamzat a goat fucker, a whore, a son of a whore, all of this shit, immediately gets on the mic. He's like, oh, I want to apologize to all my Muslim fans, which you don't have any, all my Christian fans and my American fans. And it's like, I went too fucking hard this time, guys, but I really try to sell these fights for you fuckers. And it's like, So your whole thing is like, yeah, I'm a neo-Nazi and I'm a piece of shit, but when this might actually get me in some trouble, it's all a fucking word.
Mm.
And I just was like, if Van and Tyra was the main event, I would have been perfectly fine. Yeah, I saw people calling Hamzat and Strickland like an incredible fight. It was a good fight. It was good. Um, but like I saw Van and Tyra got fight of the night, and they fucking deserved it. That was insane. And the crazy thing is, a few years ago, they were looking at cutting the 125-pound division. It's like the most exciting division in the fucking UFC. But when people hear 125 pounds, they're like, "Oh, these guys are midgets." Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're fucking way more exciting to watch. And then I did get into the UFC 6 beta. I have a lot
Mhm.
of thoughts, feelings. First off, the grappling is the exact same as 5. So if you didn't like the grappling in 5, and I didn't, uh, it's more of the same. Kind of sucks. The striking, however, um, I got flash KO'd by a lot of stuff that in UFC 4 and 5 would have just been regular knockdowns. It's obvious they're putting more emphasis on like the striking being dangerous. Like you're not going to be able to if somebody enters that flow state fucking thing they put in and drops like a 6-punch combo on you, you're probably going to sleep. And that that's probably how it should be. But I think the stamina is probably a little too forgiving. It's like the complete other end of the spectrum from 5, where like if you throw 3 power shots, you're gassed no matter who you are. In this game, you can throw way more than 3 before you're gassed. Um, they took away my bread and butter combo, which was left hook, right uppercut. Fuck them for that. But the striking feels more fluid, feels more impactful. There was a lot made about like the uniqueness of each fighter. There's some shared animations, like the front kick, for example, I think is the same across everybody in the demo that has it. But like Pereira's hooks are clearly his. Robert Whitaker's hooks are clearly his. Michael Venom Page's combos are all clearly like how he throws punches. So if this, and granted, there's like 6 guys in the beta right now. If this is an indication of what they're doing across the board, this is going to be the MMA game with the most like individualized like move sets and shit since probably like the Pride games on the PS2. Because like Undisputed did it where like Liddell would have his overhand, and like Anderson Silva had his specific version of the fucking kick to Vitor, but there were still a ton of shared animations. Like Chuck Liddell and fucking Tito Ortiz had the same double leg takedown. Um, those games also had a huge roster, and I think those games are incredible. But the amount of like uniqueness that each of these guys has, from like the stance to the way they walk to a lot of their strikes, it's kind of crazy that EA pulled that off with even 5 guys, given how everybody in UFC 5 feels the fucking same. Like, very impressive. Also, I don't know if you saw the trailer, like the reveal trailer, like that lighting and shit they got going on that makes it look kind of like a cutscene. That's there. Like that is how that game looks. Like
I
it is a massive upgrade visually.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything of it because I'm not interested. Like I don't know any of the current fighters, and like I don't like the UFC as a whole. Like I mean, if it was full of like excuse me. If it was full of like old fighters and there was like I think I said previously I've had like the old style of Octagon and stuff, like there would be some nostalgia factor there. But if it's just like modern UFC, I'm just like gross.
I do have some reservations about that Hall of Legends mode because they do a lot of shots of like classic fights in the trailer. Like there's GSP and Nick Diaz, but it's Nick Diaz in a modern fight kit. Like we can't just put Nick Diaz in red shorts in this fucking game.
Yeah, you're
It'll
asking
make
for
that
too much.
unlockable. And like I thought some of the stuff like that, and like the trailer ends with Liddell staring down Randy Couture. But if you look, there's the Paramount Plus logo on the Octagon, and I'm like, oh fuck! If there's a classic matches mode, they're just going to use the same Octagon. But I think that's just like we took some shots from like general like exhibition play.
Right.
I I have my concerns that they're going to try to they're not going to try to do like period appropriate stuff. Ken Shamrock being DLC like included with the Legends Pass you get with the Ultimate Edition of the game makes me think that like he's probably not going to be in the Hall of Legends mode. There's also reason to believe that shit might still be Max Holloway centric because I've seen some stuff recently. There's also a feature in UFC 6 called the Gym where like you can pick fighters and like using like I guess it's your in-game XP, you can draft coaches to like have your fighters quote unquote train while you're not playing. And I guess the way this works is the fighters can be leveled up so that you unlock different like cosmetics and stuff for them
Right.
while the game is active, but also while it's not active. And if this means like, I put GSP in my gym and I level him up to whatever, like I get like 5 extra like skins for him that are based on like UFC 100, the fights with Matt Hughes, the one where he beats Matt Serra, like that's a really cool idea.
Like,
But you can't really do anything with it in the beta, as far as I've noticed.
I think MK11 had something like that, was like CPU battles where you could earn XP while offline because you would choose five fighters and the CPU would fight for you against other players while you were offline. Sounds kind of like a similar idea.
Sort of, yeah. I don't know if this has like an in for microtransactions. It probably does.
Hmm.
Also, for those who are listening to hear whatever I've discovered on the WWE Vault page for Coliseum videos, it is WWE Wrestling Grudge matches.
Oh, okay.
It's got an Undertaker versus Flair match on it. Oh wow, Repo Man versus Bret Hart. These
Vince
tapes
back
start to
now.
kind of suck again. Do I think Vince is back in the Fed? I heard about that gingerbread man thing.
Gingerbread Man, and they had a mini Danhausen last night. It's like, how could he not be back?
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm scrolling through this tape just real quick. I'm pretty sure this Kamala and Typhoon match is from the Nutter Center in Dayton, Ohio. I need to look this up real quick. The mini Danhausen thing, I'm shocked nobody's ever done that before because it feels like such an obvious idea for him.
It does.
Like, I've got a Partnerhausen, and then here comes a little fucker that looks like Danhausen.
But it's also like such a WWE thing too, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if they would have had access to a little fella on the Indies, he probably would have been horribly traumatized having to be fucking mini Danhausen
Yeah.
every weekend. I didn't watch shit from that show.
Oh, I didn't watch it. I saw that it seems like Oscar's like, apparently Meltzer said she was semi-retired.
Yeah, whatever the hell that means.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I wonder if they asked her to take a pay cut as well.
Possibly. Also, just looked it up, and yeah, that sure is the Nutter Center in good old Fairborn, Ohio.
I just saw Hawk do a backflip into the bunker.
What
God,
the fuck is this?
That whole arena's awesome. Like,
oh, the place where they did Fairway to Hell. Yeah, that's like one of the coolest venues I've ever seen.
They need to keep doing these unique venues.
I think Tony said that's going to be like a yearly thing, and they're hoping to launch like a charity golf tournament with it.
Oh, nice.
It's going to be called Fairway to Heaven, and then Fairway to Hell is going to be the like actual show.
It's a shame Barry Dorsal was under a Legends deal.
God, yeah, we were making the Mr. Hole-in-One jokes last night. I saw they changed the match on Wednesday from Darby versus Okada to Darby versus Takeshita.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Takeshita. I did like that one match he had with Darby like 2 years ago, and here's hoping Darby can get another one out of him.
Oh, yeah, that match was awesome.
Yeah, it was great. It was Takeshita not doing the stuff he does with everybody else.
It was him being Mike Awesome.
Yeah, well, I mean, you don't really have the time to like not sell anything and just cram all of your shit in when you're busy, murdering Darby Allin.
Yeah, yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I like that match a lot. Darby, he's had 4 title defenses, and I'm comfortable saying this not just because I'm a big fan of his, but just because I think it's a really funny thing to say out loud because it's probably true. He's gonna have like the best AEW title reign in terms of like overall match quality by the time this fucking thing's over, probably in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
He's had no bad matches. He's I keep hearing like people on Twitter, I guess, are saying like Moxley's got like a strong case for wrestler of the year. Nobody doing it like Darby Allin. Hate to give it to the terrorist organization known as Darby Allin.
I saw
But
Mark Davis beat Jungle Boy, and I've been liking his stuff a lot recently.
I like Mark Davis. I feel really bad that Matt Coon dropped that tweet about like Mark Davis is like if Dr. Death was actually good.
Yeah, that was real dumb.
And I guess he doubled down on it, like when people are like, "Oh, but him in All Japan," like, "Oh, he was really good when he was wrestling the best wrestlers in the world." Hey, Big Vito is in like tag matches against Misawa, and he still looks like shit in those matches. So I don't think it was the magic of the Frogman, motherfucker. I think Doc might have been good.
Do you see the thing they did at WrestleCon where Big Vito quote unquote beat up a fan? And I was like, what even is this?
I think we talked about that like Mania weekend when we did the show. Yeah, apparently that was a word.
Yeah, it was a whole JCW thing. I didn't even know he was in there, but with Russo being the writer, it makes sense.
I guess they were doing some angle with like him and Mickey Knuckles from IWA Mid South.
I just saw like there was an article written on it that said wrestling legend Big Vito, and I was like, oh god.
Yeah, we're just throwing that fucking word around.
Yep.
So there's a lot of wrestling figure news. Some of it was sent to me by Wrestling Figure News, so shout outs to Justin. We'll go with the actual biggest wrestling figure story of the week, and then we'll segue to like what the biggest story was to me. As of Friday, the Jazzwares AEW team has been laid off. I'm assuming that what pre-orders have already been solicited for, so like what, just Tanahashi at this point, and maybe Mark Sterling. I think that's still happening.
I think there was another one, but I can't remember who it was.
That might be all the stuff we get. I wouldn't expect any sort of an update at Comic-Con. I would expect if people went to Comic-Con and asked Jazzwares about AEW, they're just going to plead ignorance.
They'll run away.
Yeah. They're like, hey, is that a Squishmallow? And they'll just bounce. Just like fucking, they'll like sidestep 3 feet and start talking to somebody else. This sucks because Jazzwares had the ability to get stuff into major retail stores. It also sucks because the line was never what it was promised to us. They grossly overproduced that Dark Order wave. They grossly overproduced Series 5 and 7 of Unrivaled. I mean, even Series 3, because there were people in 2023 still finding like the Young Bucks and Riho from Series 3.
Yeah.
There was the one picture famously people saw of like a Walmart end cap that was like just Rio. And I felt really bad because that was a cool figure. The Chase had a better head sculpt, but like it was a cool figure. And like I don't like seeing anybody shelf warm like that. Like it's funny to see sometimes, but like that line was a year and change old, and it's like, oh fuck, man, this thing's done, huh? And they never integrated Legends into it like they said they were going to. The Luminaries line was a fucking completely flaccid attempt to do some quote unquote Legends figures. They didn't even bother doing actual Legends versions in the Luminaries until Sting and Flair, which were the last 2 that they did. The Ringside Collectibles exclusives did not pan out the way that we were led to believe. They didn't pan out the way that we were led to believe they would at Walmart or Target. And it feels like Jazzwares kind of gave up on the line after about 2022, to be honest.
I agree.
Which is a shame because I remember Double or Nothing. No, it was 2021 when they revealed like the Supreme line and you see like the fucking Cody and it's like goddamn, they have knocked Mattel's dick in the dirt. Like Mattel is completely fucked. And then Mattel's figures had to improve quickly because there was, competition. And now there's none. And it's going to be really it's going to be interesting to see where the AEW license winds up. I know I had a friend that was convinced it was going to be McFarlane. I've said it for a while. I think Playmates can spend a minute fraction of what they're spending on the Turtles to get AEW.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
as long as you keep the figures relatively the same in terms of scale, I don't think people would have a complaint about starting over again. I think it's if you do something radically different in terms of scale or like art style, for lack of a better term. I think that's when people might have an issue. But I mean, AEW is doing better. Like Double or Nothing has like almost 13,000 tickets out. It smashes the attendance for last year. It feels like there's some actual momentum again. Maybe that'll land them a toy deal. I
I think
think. Go on.
selfishly, like I've talked about it before, but like I'd like to see them work with independent companies. Like your zombies and your possibly Epic or whoever. Because I think especially zombie does great work, and it'd be awesome to see somebody like Sting, for example, made by him. But
Yeah,
that doesn't help when it comes to like massive produced retail, and they need that, right? So yeah, I don't know. Like you said, Playmates is probably a good idea.
I
We'll
don't think
see. I
it's going to
mean,
be Hasbro. I've seen a lot of people saying Hasbro.
I've seen
Hasbro.
people
Let
talk
me be
about that as
perfectly
well.
clear. Hasbro wants WWE. They
Mm.
do not want to license the. There was a point like 4 years ago they might have licensed the number two brand. They ain't doing it now,
I think
sadly.
Jada would have been an interesting brand to go with.
My friend Dylan said that last night, and my only thing with Jada is you're going to get maybe 4 figures a year.
Yeah, that's true.
But the upside to it is those 4 figures would still be way further ahead of anything Mattel's putting out in terms of articulation and sculpting.
Yeah.
So like I'll take 4 AEW figures a year if they're as good as like my Jada Toy Street Fighter figures, for sure. Like those things are incredible for the price point. But they're incredible in general. I think Storm Arena is still better, but like Jada, they have they've added articulation to those things super quickly. You look at Mattel and they barely add anything of note to those Ultimate Editions that are $35 now.
Mhm.
Like, oh no, there's a disc hinge in the neck. Congratulations, you've caught up to fucking Marvel Legends from 2002. Ridiculous. But yeah, we'll see. I see people speculating like, oh, we'll find out at Comic Con. And more likely New York Toy Fair next year.
Yeah, Comic Con might be a bit too quick of a turnaround, depending on when they knew that the Jazzwares deal was done.
Yeah, but also the first reports of that were last September, so
Mm.
who knows? Hopefully they get a company that can get figures out quickly and we're not getting 2024 Kyle Fletcher released in the spring of 2026 because he's been bald for a while now. He's wearing trunks for a while now.
Yeah.
Probably could have just eked out a ringside exclusive to make good on the way out, but you know. KWK yesterday posted I think the technical term for it is the exploded view of the O-ring figures. It's like the renders and it shows like how each part is like separate, like the two halves of like the thigh, the torso is like separated, the arms are separated. And as of right now, it looks like the individual figures are going to be $30 a piece, which is not terrible. And the ring's going to be 55, which is also not terrible because if you look at it, you're basically paying $25 for a ring. And 25 for a ring's not bad. Those are going up, I believe, just straight up on July 1st with I think the July pre-orders are Bertha Faye, and I don't fucking remember who the other one is. J&J Figures was not tagged in the post, and he does note in the post that not all of his distribution network will be carrying them. Collect and Connect were tagged them. So shout outs to them. They've got some dog in them. I've said from the beginning I'm probably going to be all in on this line. And Zombie keeps teasing Pinnacle 2 pre-orders imminently. If I've got to make the choice in July, like say that those go up in July, I'm probably just going to grab the O-Ring figures and maybe grab like Shane Douglas and Bad News from Pinnacle Series 2.
Yeah,
Like it's going to hurt my set, but like if I've got to make a fucking choice, O-Ring style wrestling figures that lean heavily towards late 80s, early 90s WWF is a dream line of mine and has been since I was a child. So.
Yeah. I would like to get Shane Douglas, but I think it'd probably make more sense for me to order through Zombie than Collect and Connect, considering I didn't get charged any customs fees through Abdullah. I mean, it was really silly. I waited for Hayabusa and Great Sasuke to go up through Collect and Connect, and when it all boiled down to it, it made more sense. It was cheaper for me. It was $20 cheaper for me to order from KWK and have them shipped from China than Canada. Which
that is fucking insane. I remember you telling me that a few days ago, and I was just like, "How the fuck does that work?"
Dude, I don't know. I looked at it and I was like, like you've got to be kidding me. I waited all weekend because they were out of town and didn't come back till Monday. And then it goes up, and like I added it to my cart, and I was like, okay. And then I went to KWK's, and I was like, I added everything to my cart there, and I was like, good God, I don't know how it works out, but like when ordering from the country that you live in is more expensive than getting the same product from overseas, like what are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah, that's asinine.
Like even if there was customs fees, like it would probably be something like $20 anyway. So like even then, like, it's not making a difference. But like I don't expect customs fees from China anyway.
he also might ship earlier than Collect and Connect because obviously he'll get the stock in first.
Yeah.
So it has to be asked, which Hayabusa did you buy?
Well, it's part of the set with Sasuke, so it's the red one.
Oh, does he not have the? So in J&J they had the option to buy Sasuke with the. Oh, never mind. The white attire is J&J exclusive. My brain farted. My bad.
I did think about getting that.
Red Hayabusa.
Yeah, but then I was like, I want to order from China, but I don't want to order from the US. I don't know. I just felt like I've ordered one. I mean, we'll see. Maybe I'll order that at some point. Maybe I'll get it elsewhere. I don't know.
I'm excited to see where he goes with his line in general because like we still have Aja Khan coming this year. We still have PG-13 and Buddy Landell and the Pitbulls coming this year.
Yeah. Also, I think like if you do Hayabusa on white, I kind of want like the blonde hair blade version. But yeah, I mean it's I like the names that he's saying. Like obviously, I'm really looking forward to Tenryu coming out and Kabuki because I pre-ordered those as well. Yeah, it's I think with the decisions he's made, he went from someone that was like, oh, they're a cool brand to being like, oh shit, like you have to pay attention to them. At least someone like me.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
Yeah, like these names are like you never get these anywhere else. Now.
He also teased a third line, which he had mentioned to me in a conversation. No hints as to what it was. The only thing he said was he had IP he was trying to license out to somebody else, and they ghosted him. So he's like, "Fine, I'll do it myself." And this is speculation. I 100% he did not tell me what it is. This is speculation on my part. It read like either LJN style or 6-inch figures. And given what he told me about the specifics of his business, I do not think it's 6-inch figures.
So another LJN brand.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Because I mean, if you look at it, he has guys signed that would be pretty well suited for big rubber guys.
True.
And it would make sense that big rubber guys maybe didn't want to. And I also thought maybe for a second, like BCA, because I know that like Jack from Figure Collections famously doesn't get along with a lot of people in the independent wrestling figure business. So like maybe he tried to be like, hey, do you want, Conan for the BCW line and got ghosted? I don't know. But there's at least three options as to what it could be. I'm obviously looking forward to seeing what it is. I don't know if I'll collect it. But he did tell me some of the plans tentatively for O-Ring next year. I won't, just in case they change, I won't mention any specifics. But if you look at some of the guys he's put out, and it's like, oh, that guy would be really cool to have in a G.I. Joe style, especially if they're from like the WWF side of things, and a couple of them from Japan. There's a good chance they're coming next year. I don't know if I mentioned this last week, but go on.
Do you think like Mattel maybe flooded the market on LGNs because they've been really easy to find, to sort of hurt like the other brands and make them less, I don't know, like relevant, because it seems like there's so much LGN now. It's like the retros, right? It's just like, okay, enough is enough. There's like everyone's doing it. It feels like.
So I think maybe not Mattel specifically, because a lot of the people that work on that line are friends with the majors.
Mm.
But I do think there was probably a mandate from TKO, because we've heard since Comic-Con last year that this is the product that the WWE side has been the most invested in terms of like poses and approvals and everything. The entire time they've had the Mattel license, the LJN is the one thing that they've been super hands-on with. I think somebody may or may not have gotten a hint that, a couple of our former guys are making a killing selling these fucking things, and we're the ones that have, all of these IPs. We're the ones that can actually put the Hulk Hogan figure back out.
Mm.
And it worked, because I don't see a whole lot of chatter about Big Rubber guys. I know they just put up like 91 Davey Boy Smith. I've heard like nobody talk about it. So
yeah, and Latuni keeps churning them out somehow.
Yeah, so in my conversation with KWK, we talked about like, he mentioned the Road Warriors. He mentioned them first, as guys he would like to get. And I was like, oh yeah, dude, like G.I. Joe Road Warriors would go fucking crazy. And then he broke it down like Hawk's represented by CMG, and I may have talked about this last week. I don't care. I'm going to talk about it again. And CMG, and this might be why you don't see a lot of CMG guys with WWE anymore. CMG charges like an incredible fucking amount of money to license these guys.
Yeah.
Which is why you see Mitch doing so many Macho Mans and British Bulldogs, and why you see Latuni doing 5 million Macho Mans. And this isn't a quote. This is just me this is like half a quote. And it's why you see Zombie stuck with all those Andre figures that he hasn't been able to fucking like actually sell out of. Like, you have to make so many of these guys to try to make your money back, because it costs so fucking much to license them in the first place.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen the post from WrestleFeds. They had the Bulldog and they're releasing the Savage. But they've been doing this thing recently. They're like, oh, I know we can't sign. She's got a Legends deal, but look at this Trish Stratus. What if we made this? And then they did one for like Sol Ruka, and it's like, what are you doing? Are you trying? You didn't get your money back, so you're fishing for like a Fed deal or something? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, that's a weird fucking thing to do.
Yeah.
It also looks like I opened Instagram to see if I could find that post, and it looks like the Shelton Benjamin KWK pre-orders are ending on the 17th. So that's what, next Sunday? Something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, today's the 10th.
Yeah.
So my question, I guess, is would it even be worth, like, say you're KWK, would it be worth signing the Road Warriors? Because he broke it down to me. Because I was like, well, if you do NWA and Red WWF, like, you'd make a killing, you'd sell a ton of those, because that's what people would want. And then he was like, yeah, but I would also probably have to do Blue Road Warriors, SummerSlam 92 Gold, and 97 WWF. and I'd probably have to do like 1,000 of each of them. And I was like, just kind of running the numbers in my head of like, what actually would the market for blue WCW Road Warriors GI Joes be? Probably not 1,000 people.
No, I think the whole thing with Ringside Collectibles was like those New Japan Road Warriors. I was like, oh, that's why I got those, because like I don't think you'd really see those. But I think most people are just interested in the red, right? It's either the red or the NWA. I think most people are just like, that's mostly what they're into.
Yeah, he told me like he kind of felt like those were the default looks.
Yeah.
And he talked about like Andre would be a really big get, but you'd have to make like a shit ton of him.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me like some of the other names he wants to sign, and I think if he could get them, it would be really cool. He seems to have learned his lesson from like last year when the retros got really cheap all of a sudden. Because a bunch of people that have talked to him have basically said to me like, yeah, it wasn't so much like the price going back up wasn't so much like a fuck the people, we're going to make the same number of figures and we're going to charge more. The reason the figures went back up to $40 is they're doing smaller runs again. The reason, I'm pretty sure at this point, the reason that we got those $25 retros is because they ordered a shit ton of them.
Yeah.
That's why you can still easily get the Berserker in those guys. So like, it feels like he's made some adjustments and the line is going to be better off overall. I also, he told me he wasn't gonna do any full reveals for the O-ring figures until right before the pre-orders go up. And I was like, can I just see the painted render of like Jake real quick, bro? I gotta know what attire we're going with, because the obvious one for Jake is green, right? Like the Hasbro.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like he's not doing the 2-pack, because he floated the idea in a comment on Instagram of doing a 2-pack of Jake and Bad News from SummerSlam and then doing individuals in different attires. It looks like he's just doing single releases. So is he going to do SummerSlam 90, or are we going to get the more obvious Jake look? And Bad News comes with the giant sewer rat, for anybody wondering, because that's, if you're going to make a Bad News Brown figure at this point, you had better goddamn well include that.
I think too, in regards to like working with CMG and having to like do all these different versions of these wrestlers, and granted, like you'd have to, like you said, like 1,000 of them, but I still think that a cool idea would be to do actual GI Joe gimmicks with the wrestlers. Have the Road Warriors with the camouflage, and Zubaz camouflage and shit like that. I think just having them in actual GI Joe gimmicks would be a neat idea.
I think on the Fully Posable podcast, he said like there were ideas to do some of these guys like kind of loosely based off of a comparable GI Joe character. Like, I want to say he mentioned like Yoshitatsu and the character like Quick Kick.
Right.
So maybe we get some of that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It would be really interesting if he got like the Powers of Pain, for example.
Yeah.
Because you can do the tag team set, but I think honestly, for a G.I. Joe style line, the singles versions of those guys are like tailor fucking made.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because think about it, when you talk about reusing parts, you could literally reuse everything from Brody and John Nord on Barbarian, except obviously the head.
I want to see Tenryu in like a G.I. Joe gimmick. You just make him like the E Honda figure.
Yeah, probably. I don't know if these are going to have actions. Yeah. Yeah, I think Kabuki's got a good chance. I think Hayabusa has a good chance.
Oh yeah.
Sasuke has a good chance.
What would a G.I. Joe gimmick Dory Funk Jr. look like?
Oh god, I would be curious if he nuts up enough to do an O-ring Dory Funk.
What would belts look like?
Probably like the Jax mini rings. So basically, like imagine a smaller version of the way he's doing them now, where it's like a black rubber strap with like the plates like kind of decoed on.
Okay, yeah.
That's that's how I would guess. I don't know if he said anything about belts with those, but I would imagine eventually we'll probably see him. Um, and like I was told by the sculptor that Hebner is going to have the collar bow tie shirt,
Right.
which it makes the most sense because I know they're doing the attitude themed ring. I don't think that sells as well as the like red, white, and blue ropes like Hasbro WWF style ring.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're collecting this line, you're probably of a certain generation of fan, and a certain aesthetic and roster is going to appeal to you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, that's all 80s, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I would love to see PG-13 as GI Joe style figures because I feel like there's potential there to include like the hubcap and all the other shit. And I also saw he took a poll where it's like, would you rather have Nation of Domination or USWA? And like overwhelmingly, the response was like Nation of Domination. But what fucking retros are you going to put those with? There's no Farouk. There's no
No,
D'Lo. There's no
no.
Kama.
You
I
can't even,
think
you don't even
figure
have an
collections are
Ahmed.
doing crush.
Well, I guess you do have
Yeah.
retro Ahmeds, but I mean, just from
Well, but you
him.
don't have them in the black, like the
No.
black gear. So like, who do you put them with? Do you put them getting the shit kicked out of them by the Road Warriors?
Why does the WWF option always have to be the popular choice? You
Because
know,
it's the one more people have seen.
yeah, I know,
Sadly,
but you think from like the type of people that would actually buy these things, they would want them in the, you know, the gear and stuff, not like just the Nation of Domination
yeah,
gimmick.
I'd rather have them in the 2-pack where they're going to have like the weapon and like different entrance gear and the USWA tag belts.
Yeah,
Fuck the only thing they come with being microphones and like soft goods trench coats. That sucks.
yeah, exactly.
I'll still buy them regardless because it's fucking PG-13. But like,
It's like
I
who's
don't know.
voting
It
on
feels
these
like
polls?
it's just like he opened it up on Instagram. Like, you guys will option one or option two, and it's like I saw a lot of people say option two, but like I saw like Figgy like oh Nation, and it's like yeah, because you've never watched anything that wasn't fucking WWE.
Yeah, I
Like
mean, you shouldn't
fuck
even
off.
be realistically. You shouldn't be talking if you haven't seen both of them. You know?
Well, also remember, Fig Heel was the guy during one of those KWK streams where, like, when they showed Ox Baker, he's like, "Well, I don't know anything about Ox Baker, but it's about the artistry of the figure." And I was just like,
Well, you know what? Too like if you want to talk about like artistry of the figure, if you looked at both the options, then USWA is a clear winner.
"Yeah, they have way cooler ring gear."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like people like to talk about things being toyetic. Like USWA PG-13 is toyetic as hell.
Hmm.
And I was told the sculpts on those are getting close to being done. I always forget until I look at the graphic again that he's doing Buddy Landell, and I hate the idea that that's probably going to be a Club Kayfabe figure because I love Buddy Landell. The guy was awesome. Everybody who knows who he is has seen the Smoky Mountain promo from '95 where he quotes "Give me back my bullets" at the end,
Mm.
and that guy was great. One of the all time booger sugar merchants in the history of wrestling. That's not a knock either. Like that guy did a lot of coke
I saw a match of
allegedly.
his. There was a match that showed up on. I don't think it was Richard Lands, but it was somewhere. It was like from Metal or something in '98. I can't remember who he was wrestling.
He gets like a brief Fed run, and then I guess at one point, like 97, 98, he's telling people on indie shows he's going to show up as the NWO Nature Boy.
You know
And
what?
goddamn, do I wish that happened.
It'd be funny if like he had a falling out with NWO Sting and they start wrestling each other.
I so badly wish that would have happened. Just because Buddy Landell's like he was a good worker, independent of all the like funny shit you can say.
That would have worked. That would have been fun.
Yeah. And I mean, he was the Nature Boy in Crockett like 12 years earlier while Flair was also there. And he was also
Yeah.
like number one contender to the world title. And famously, Flair said the thing in a promo. I spent more on spilt liquor than you made last year, which is a fantastic fucking line.
I wonder if there's maybe some truth to that because I mean they had like Kurt Hennig turn on him and steal his robe and everything. I mean, I don't know if Buddy
Mm,
Landell would have been given the same spot necessarily, but it'd been interesting.
yeah, and Buddy could still like that short match he has with Brett in the WWF is pretty fucking good for as long as they get.
He wrestles Sean around then, doesn't he?
Yeah, the 95 match in Smoky Mountain. That's to set that match up. He does the promo where he quotes "Give me back my bullets."
Right, right.
That oh god, I saw that promo long before I ever saw the work print of that Smoky Mountain show. That match is awesome. The one with him and Sean, a great fucking match. Oh, speaking of great fucking matches, the WCW page yesterday uploaded the Midnight Express, the Fantastics, the May 1988 Worldwide match.
Mm-hmm.
If you're one of the few listening to this and you haven't seen it, seek it out. One of the best tag matches of all time. One of the best matches ever aired on American television. It's a real shame that neither of those teams are like got their due while every member of the team was still around. I feel like people loved the Midnight Express, but like I don't. I feel like especially in the last few years before even Bobby Eaton passed away, you didn't see as much talk about them outside of like the the usual obvious circles, and that kind of sucks because Bobby Eaton
I
was great and Stan Lane was great and Dennis Condrey was great.
I was I remember what that Buddy Landell. I'm actually looking at cage match now. It was Shotgun Saturday Night and 1999 he wrestled Triple H. Um, Before that he wrestled The Godfather, and there's an NWA New Jersey show. It's draws Rocco Rock and Stevie Richards against Buddy Landell, Doug Gilbert, and Inferno Kid. That sounds bizarre.
Is that during the like Todd Gordon invasion of the Dennis Corluzzo stuff where Kimona says the thing about Francine and the black members of the ECW locker room?
In '99,
It's like 98, 99 where that happens.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, it's New Jersey, NWA New Jersey, so
Like I listened to those the Todd is God Between the Sheets Patreon episodes, and they quote what she says about Francine, and even in like a late '90s context, it's like, God damn, buddy.
I say
If you
he wrestled
if you
Edge
want
as
to,
well.
poor buddy. If you like the thing about what she said, like if you want to slut shame somebody, that's like bad enough, but to be racist about it too is fucking insane.
Hmm. Oh, he wrestled Goldberg in a dark match on a Saturday night taping.
Is there footage of that?
I don't think so.
I feel
There's
like
some.
I might be thinking of the house show match Goldberg has with Bobby Eaton, actually.
We're getting into that crazy like '90s random matches stuff here too of him because like there's him against Disco Inferno in NWA New Jersey. There's like a house show of him and Salsa and Sia against Candido and Scott Pudski. There's him
Jesus
and
Christ.
Salsa and Sia against the Headbangers. Some weird ass cards here. He lost to TL Hopper on a WWF house show.
I wonder if those two worked each other in Smoky Mountain. I mean, they would have had to have, even if not in Smoky Mountain, they would have had to have crossed paths at some point.
Yeah, they were wrestling each other around here in Smoky Mountain and other promotions, or not Smoky Mountain, but some other promotions. He actually beat Bob Holly in a doc on Monday Night Raw.
Is that when Bob was still like, fuck it, I'm going to go be a welder for like 6 months out of the year because I'm not making any
Uh,
money doing this shit?
December '95, he beats Bob Holly and then he beats Matt Hardy on Superstars. This was after he
I
lost to Bret Hart.
I think that might be around the same time that he's like, fuck it, I'm going to go be a welder.
I feel like I've seen his In Your House match against Ahmed Johnson.
Is that the December 95 in your house?
Yeah, Seasons Beatings.
Yeah, I've seen that match a couple of times because I've seen that show several times.
Every time somebody puts up like an Ahmed clip, it's like, how the hell do you not love this guy?
There's like the one clip of him doing the shitty rolling Germans to Owen, and he's like dropping Owen directly on his like shoulder and neck, and it's like, wish you wouldn't do that to him.
Yeah,
He
but he
probably
still
didn't deserve that. Yeah, I
there
liked
was
Ahmed. I my thing with Ahmed is my same thing with like Vader and a bunch of other guys. Everybody says these guys are like the shits to work with because they beat the fuck out of you. But my counterpoint to that is I didn't have to work with them.
yeah, exactly. As a fan, you watch and you're like, hell yeah. There was that match I saw of Ahmed, and I don't remember like exactly, but I think he beat someone with like with his Pearl River plunge, and this was after he turned face and left the nation, I think. And like the referees are trying to stop him from attacking the guy, and then he just does like an avalanche, um, Pearl River plunge, I think, which is just like, or at least from the second rope, I think, and it's just like wild, you know. It's like he just pulls that out of nowhere. It ruled.
Yeah, he was a lot of fun to watch. I liked using him in Warzone as well. It's a shame he dumbed himself out of his fucking spot and we didn't get him in like Mania 2000.
I would have liked to seen him against Mike Awesome.
God, I Jesus, that's like matter and antimatter colliding.
I would have liked to seen him against Kobashi.
I mean, Kobashi could have took it.
Yeah, it'd have been fun.
Yeah, yeah. It's probably in some ways an upgrade from getting the shit beat out of you by Stan Hansen.
Yeah.
It's like a whole different kind of ass kicking, but
One guy
probably
can't
not as
see and the
bad.
other guy doesn't want to.
One guy can't see and the other guy can't feel empathy for his opponent. Speaking of companies making Ahmed figures, did you see Mitch reissued the God ones?
Yeah, I saw that he's doing a new Savio as well as a Regium.
Yeah, I got sent the render of the Savio by it might have been Wrestling Figure News, and I was just kind of like, eh. Like
I,
the one Regium figure he's shown that I'm kind of like, maybe is Mark Marrow.
yeah,
Like I don't really care
I saw
about
that
like
the
Savio.
yeah I saw like the Galdron's new packaging seems pretty close to Zombie.
Yeah, honestly, when he put up Raven and Ahmed, it was like, oh yeah, no, we're copying somebody's homework here, huh?
Yeah,
And I hope those figures are good. I heard the Godwins did not turn out great in hand. So, hopefully the Ahmed's good. I wish he wasn't doing the pads with Ahmed. After a certain point, Mitch needs to stop reading the comments and going, this one person said he should come with the pads. Because Mattel, I mean, maybe if you bought the New Japan Road Warriors, the Ringside did, and you bought the other Road Warriors too, and you could put the red pads on them, then maybe you'd have like, you know, the ability to display Ahmed with the Road Warriors. But you can't put those with the old Mattel ones. It's not going to fucking make sense.
mm,
He's going to be bigger than both of them too.
yeah,
So, blah. Um, it's cool that Savio's getting a figure. I just wish it was somebody else making them.
yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's too early to say, but the Regium line may be something that he regrets at some point.
There's no fucking way he's making money on this shit. There's no way.
Wouldn't imagine so.
Like, there's rumblings of like most of these companies losing a little bit of money last year. I can't imagine Mitch is exempt from that. I
Yeah,
can't fathom that. He's also
I think
doing Savio retros.
I think the only one that's been successful is Rush because you can't lose money if you just take it from everyone and don't spend it and actually don't produce anything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Power Town, if we're going by that
Oh
metric,
yeah, them as well.
they took a lot of money and didn't actually make anything. Jesus Christ. I I was gonna say something and I fucking completely just blanked on this.
Every now and then, I remember that Rush was like the one that was going to be bringing back the ECW brand, and then sell figures, I should say, and then was doing those NES figures, which will never see the light of day.
The thing that annoys me the most about that is he signed like Sign Guy Dudley. I think he signed Spike.
Yeah, I
He
signed
was
a whole
gonna do
bunch.
Sabu, but it was just the original Sabu with the I don't remember the name for the headdress and I don't want to botch it, but it was like it didn't even look like the prototype of Sabu that clearly had a different body that we saw at Toy Fair 2000.
Mm.
And
I just thought that would have been like a really great idea because it's cool seeing like ECW guys and retros and Regium and everything, but like that brand obviously was so specific to ECW, so to like continue that as a instead of putting them as a part of what was originally a WWF line and stuff like that would have been really, really, really cool. But it is what it is.
I would have liked to have seen that. I know people brought it up to Brian Myers and he was like it would cost too much to produce.
Mm.
So that form factor is fucking dead,
Yeah,
unfortunately. I I really hope Mitch doesn't release that Mark Marrow in the black gear. Do something a little cooler. Do the
yeah, it's lame.
you think I think we talked about this, but do you think he's gonna do a Johnny B. Bad? I don't think he's gonna be able to help himself.
I think so.
I think if you've got the molds, you might as well go for it, right?
Yeah.
I saw the Quebecers prototypes, and it dead ass looks like two of the same figure. Like they were not the same body wise. Like PCO was bigger than him. The head sculpt looks like the exact same fucking guy. Like, what are we doing? Just fucking have your sculptor like sculpt more than like one fucking thing.
Yeah.
Might be a worthwhile idea. I think I think I'm probably out on anything Regium that isn't that Mark Merrill. Like that Mongo McMichael looks like fucking shit.
Yeah, it looks like the dude from Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah, and like I'm just looking at some of the other shit, and it's like I
I was
know
listening.
people.
Oh,
Go
sorry, go
on.
ahead. No, you go ahead.
I know people try to like gas up all of these figure lines that aren't like zombie, but brother, Mitch sucks.
I saw Tom Green put out a WCW deep cut the other day. Something I didn't know was like when Austin got hit by the car, they were gonna have the same car drive into the arena, and it was gonna be on Nitro, and it was gonna be Mongo McMichael, and the idea was that they were going to complete the storyline before WWF could, and it was revealed that he was the one that hit Steve Austin, um, as payback for Austin getting with Deborah, and like he was going to challenge Austin to a fight, and of course Austin wasn't going to show up because he was in WWF. Like Vince and Bischoff. But I guess, well, according to him anyway, McMichael was against doing it. But that'd have been very funny if they actually did something like that.
I would have still sent somebody out there. I would have shit all over the Feds angle. Fuck them.
Yeah, I mean it's funny, like sending out the exact same make of car, like speeding in the arena, like he just hit Stone Cold and he's speeding into Nitro. Would be really funny.
I feel like I'd heard that at some point in the past, but like, God, I wish that would have happened. That would have been so funny.
Yeah, it would be awesome.
Did you see that? The Power Packed Wrestlers line, I think is what it's called. They're doing a Danhausen for some reason,
Of course they are.
and the pre-order went up for those Matt Maniacs, Jake, and Rick Martel figures.
I didn't even know they were doing those. Actually, I think I did, but I forgot.
Yeah, there's no blindfolds. I guess they're doing Oli and Arn
Okay, I mean
also.
those are neat, but like not something I feel like I need to buy or anything.
Yeah, that like we've talked about it a bunch. Like they're very stylistically interesting,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think I need to collect these.
It's like when you see some like Back to the Future figures that are made to look a bit different than what the actors actually look like. You see stuff like that, like off brands like that. So their need is just not something I'm interested in. I think the game with them in it is pretty cool though. Like I'm not. I've said before that I'm not a big card guy, but I played that for a little bit and it was cool.
Oh, also I should know I got the Munoz Dynasty figures in whatever day that was. Thursday. Um Roosh is maybe a little short, but it's also like we're not getting the AEW figure of him that they showed.
Mm.
And I don't think the AEW head sculpt would have looked as good anyway. So great figure. Dralistico is incredible. It's probably the best figure of the three. Like tons of detail. The ring jacket is incredible. It's not soft goods. It's obviously sculpted, but it looks tremendous. And yeah, Dragon Lee's really good too. It's way better than the WWE figure of him. And I also forgot that I ordered Fanatico's Black Tartarus Beast Mordos, and that figure is amazing. And they need to fast track a premium line figure of him
Yeah, definitely.
because we're not getting that Jazzwares one. We're it basically anything that you saw last year that was a render that hasn't already been like actually shown or solicited for pre-order. Yeah, it's over. I'm curious if that Tanahashi figure even comes out.
I hope so.
Yeah, it would be a really cool thing, but I just don't know, man. There's
Also,
so
like
much.
if that doesn't release, like who knows if you'll ever get something like that again?
Well, maybe Epic does like some shit with them.
But they wouldn't do like a fully 6-inch figure like that.
That's true. Yeah. I don't know, man. I hope it comes out. I think it's really crazy that they whiffed as badly as they did for years on doing any New Japan guys. Like they did Osprey in the freaking line, and it was based off of when he was in New Japan on an AEW show. It's Forbidden Door 2022, but they didn't ever try to do like Shibata, who would have sold, especially as a ringside exclusive.
Yeah.
They could have done like a Shibata Orange Cassidy 2 pack.
I
People would have
mean,
probably been pretty hype about that.
if I mean, saying that like you've got like the majors Liga and you've got the epic Liga, why couldn't they have done a Liga?
Because he technically didn't appear in AEW.
I mean, he was there for that little thing they when they brought out the trophy for or the belt for Ricky
Oh,
Starks
and
and
yeah, and Starks just kind of blows by him. That was a good
but
bit.
even though does it really matter? I mean, like if I had the opportunity to do somebody like that, I would take it.
Yeah, but Jeremy Padawer also like there's not like a Liger card that sold for like $5,000 or whatever.
Mm.
It's not like the Corazon De Leon EMLL Jericho card. Or like, fuck, man, we got to do EMLL Jericho. When you literally could have just done like WAR Jericho and it would have been like 96 WCW Jericho and people might have been fucking a little bit hyped for that.
Right.
His gear doesn't really change until you get into like, like late 97, 98.
Hmm.
Could have easily done fucking WAR Jericho. Or WCW Jericho and just lied and said it was W.
I mean, you could do WAR Jericho, which also serves as WCW and ECW, because he wore that like
Yeah,
that yellow and black attire on all three.
yeah. They could have easily done it and they
Yeah.
didn't. Because I don't fucking know, man. These I've on some level tried to give up trying to understand the fucking Jeremy Pittauer mindset because I just don't feel like I ever fully will understand it.
Yeah, I mean,
That guy sucks.
there's a lot of wasted potential with that brand for sure.
Yeah. Speaking of wasted potential, there were a bunch of names found in WWE 2K26, one of which was Sabu. And I gotta tell you, if he's got a Fed deal, I cannot wait for Bill McKenna to do a Sabu with decoed on scars and shitty soft goods pants. That's like the same size and body as like Randy fucking Orton.
It's weird because the names that were found were like Sabu, King Kong Bundy, Steve Blackman, Brandy Rhodes, Vic Grimes, and apparently there was a new listing. This wasn't like leftover data, but something that was added, and that was Chris Jericho. So I don't know. Maybe there was discussions if he was to leave AEW where he'd be in the game. I have no idea.
I don't know.
It's so bizarre. Maybe they're just like working off of like assumptions, but like I don't know.
I think I think Vic Grimes being named is interesting because like they did upload the Crash and Vic Grimes match. I feel like we've seen that match. It was on like one of those satellite tapes that surfaced forever ago.
Yeah.
And
I imagine
maybe that got them to offer the fucker a Legends deal. I don't.
I could just imagine like they were putting together like a model for the ragdoll and it was Vic Grimes and they just had New Jack throwing him off everything.
I mean, it's probably the best use for Vic Grimes, to be honest.
Probably.
He he was good for falling off of shit and not a whole lot else. With all due respect. I did I mention the survey I took for WWE 2K last week when we recorded?
Briefly.
Yeah, I buried that game to Kingdom Come despite having not played it because if you're gonna send me the survey, I'm gonna tell you that shit sucks unless I think it's actually good. But 2K24 is not great, and everything I've heard about 20. The funny thing was like AEW Fight Forever was listed among like the franchises you're familiar with, and every text box I got that was like, "How do you feel about this?" I was like, "Yeah, AEW Fight Forever had better gameplay. You guys have stolen enough from that game. You might as well just steal the combat system too."
Sorry, somebody keeps
And
talking to me here in the background. Um, yeah, that's funny that you got a survey for it. I wonder why you got it specifically.
did you not get one? Did you check?
No, I didn't get
I don't
one.
know if it'd still be that. That's so weird
No, not
because
at
I didn't
all.
buy the game, but I saw I had the survey and I was like, "Fucking time to talk my shit, brother." I doubt they're gonna look at anything I said.
Oh,
They'll scrape for the surveys that were mildly positive. The hell with everybody else.
yeah, I don't even see anyone talking about 26 now.
No, I saw a video from like Tony Pizza Guy, like is the game dead? And I watched the video and he talked about like how much fun the gameplay is, and I'm like, buddy, if the game's dead, stand to reason this shit's not actually fun to play.
I think I've seen people like praise the gameplay as well. I just think like even if you enjoy the gameplay, I think people are over this whole My Rise and Ale and shit.
Yeah, I think one of the things that's going to kill this game long term if they invest in the season pass stuff is like you you have to do the same grind like 5 times now.
Yeah.
And cannot imagine I cannot imagine even the most ardent diehard Fed fans are thrilled about the idea.
I mean, it was bad enough in 2K25 and My Rise when it would be like having to play like the same boring matches over and over again. You know, it's just like, and that wasn't just to unlock. And they were in like the same thing, right? Like the same World Tour thing. It'd be like play this match and then play this match and then play. It's just like, this is so tedious and boring. You know, this. If anything, I'd rather just go into Exhibition or Universe and just do my own shit. But you know, they want me to unlock all this bullshit. I mean, I didn't do it for long because I had the um the mods that unlocked everything for me. So
I wonder what they do for next year.
Same old.
Yeah, I just meant with like the monetization scheme. Do they double down on this fucking dumbass battle pass stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting. I mean, obviously they have the data that we don't, so maybe there's a player base that we're not seeing. It's just in general, I don't see anyone being like, "Oh, I'm still playing 2K." It's like outside of the modding community, um, it just doesn't seem like anyone's really talking about it. But then again, they've got more DLC to release, so I guess they had Demolition in, but they released an updated entrance where they take off their masks, and
Oh boy.
I think there was something else they did. It was very funny to see all the Diva stands who have petitioned for years to have Tori Wilson in the game being very disappointed to learn that she's MAGA. I was like, well, what did you expect?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, being surprised that anybody in any form of combat sports, worked or otherwise, leans that way, like I don't know what to tell you, buddy. There's been so much
Yeah.
evidence for years.
She was
Like,
like, if I lived in LA, I would vote for Spencer Pratt for whatever he's up for, like mayor or whatever.
yeah, Jesus Christ, man. I don't fucking get it. I think we've talked about this game before, but like I've started seeing more YouTube videos about that Bruisers 2D boxing game, which I played the demo.
I saw a video of that recently, yeah. Popped up.
And I'm noticing like people that are like fight night YouTubers playing it and being like, no, this is surprisingly good for a 2D game. And like the game being 2D doesn't matter. Like you can make a good game regardless. But I played the demo and like it's brutal. It's hard. Like especially if you're trying to approach it like it's a 16-bit boxing game, you are going to get put to sleep.
Does
Like
it?
there's like slips and fades and shit. Like it's great.
Maybe can you do can you simulate matches on it?
I didn't try that in the demo. You might be able to. I
Because
know,
that would
like in the
be
career mode, you can do like fucking PEDs and like drugs and shit.
hell yeah.
Allegedly,
Can you create more than one characters, or just like you go through story mode and that's it?
that I'm also not sure of because that's I don't think in the demo either. I think the demo I just played like exhibition fights, but there are people that got early codes and they're doing like Boxing Fanatico, who if you followed Undisputed, he was a big part of that game's development in terms of like the social media presence. He's been doing a career mode playthrough in that game, and it looks really fucking cool, honestly.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun, like depending on how detailed it is, if you could just create a bunch of fighters and give them stats as close to how the actual fighters are and simulate matches just to see what happens. I think that'd be neat. Sort of like a boxing Fire Pro in a way.
There's apparently a bunch of like fake versions of real guys on the default roster.
Oh, nice.
Because I watched a video where somebody was like, "I found Floyd Mayweather," and it's like, yeah, let's keep that part quiet. We don't need an indie dev being sued because they have a guy that's kind of like Floyd. But I think I saw like there's a Terrence Crawford ripoff. There's a Triple G ripoff. I think there's a Canelo Alvarez. I would imagine that if you look at the heavyweights, there's probably like ripoffs of Foreman, Tyson, Ali, etc.
Yeah.
Probably a Tyson Fury. Um, and also apparently Undisputed's getting a sequel that's not being built on Unity this time. It's being built in Unreal.
I heard that they were done with the Undisputed. I didn't know that they were going straight into a second one.
Yeah, so apparently the sequel's been in development for a minute. It's in super early stages. They flew some content creators out to see it. And all of the content creators are like, it's a significant graphical overhaul over the original, which if you've seen Undisputed, like that game is amazing visually.
Hmm.
And they've also stressed like a lot of fighters are doing their own mocap, which allegedly they did for Undisputed, and kind of everybody sort of still felt the fucking same.
Yeah.
But maybe not using Unity for this one will be a good thing. They brought on people who have worked on games for EA and 2K and I think Rockstar. So hopefully it's good. I mean, there hasn't been a mainstream boxing game that I would say that was like really awesome since Fight Night Champion, and that was 15 years ago. Undisputed's not nearly as bad as people made it out to be, but if you're playing online, that is the single worst online experience I've ever had in a video game. Like massive lag spikes. Like the game was originally called Esports Boxing Club, and that game was not built for online play. Fucking figure that out. Just ridiculous. I'm trying to think if there's any other noteworthy news from this week. I think we got everything out of the way.
Yeah, nothing comes off the top of my head.
Yeah,
Happy
the
Mother's
gears are
Day.
grinding. Oh yeah, also happy Mother's Day to everybody listening who has a mother or is a mother or knows someone who had a mother. Just trying to blanket it as much as humanly possible. But yeah, that'll probably do us for this time. It'll be 2 weeks before the next episode. I don't have the list of games we've covered in front of me. Did we ever cover the fucking Amiga games like European Rampage?
No, definitely not.
I feel like we covered WrestleMania, but I don't feel like we covered European Rampage. And I've been feeling some type of way about like that era of the WWF lately. I don't know why.
I like to check
And
that out.
I remember it being dog shit, but it's one of those things where like, you know what, man? Maybe we should give that one a look. I feel like we didn't.
No, I've seen them. I definitely haven't played it.
Okay, so yeah, in 2 weeks we'll talk about a game that I had my mom go to Walmart and buy me a flight stick for my computer in 2002 so I could play a shitty emulated version of the game.
Wow.
I say shitty emulated version, any version of the game shitty. That's a spoiler alert. But yeah, we'll talk WWF European Rampage Tour. To be clear, we're playing the Amiga version, right? I'm not fucking with the C64 emulator.
No.
I don't really want to fuck with an Amiga emulator either, but it's the best option that we have. So yeah, that'll probably be that'll be the next episode. 2 weeks, the day of Double or Nothing, from whatever the Raymond James Omos Stadium
The Ray
facility.
Romano Stadium.
Something. It's somebody. It's a stadium named after somebody that's in the same complex as Arthur Ashe, but it's not Arthur Ashe. We'll cover all the news that's dropped in the intervening 2 weeks between now and then and everything. But until then, take care and don't be an asshole. And for the love of God, watch that Midnight Express and Fantastic Sports.